If you've tried to get serious about saving and it never stuck, you're not broken, you just never had a system. Here are the strategies that actually work, backed by behavioral research, not willpower. 1. Set it and forget it, automated saving. There's a concept I call set and forget saving. Research on automatic enrollment shows people save dramatically more when saving isn't a decision they have to make every month, it just happens. Here's the psychology. Losing money you already have feels worse than never having it in the first place, loss aversion. So the trick is to never let the money feel like yours to lose. Automate it before you ever see it. My system. Paycheck lands in checking. Same day, it auto-splits into a spending account, bills plus a flexible, fun money budget based on my real average spending, and a savings account at 18 months end. Whatever's left in spending auto-sweeps into savings. Savings then splits into emergency fund, high-yield savings, or investments. Example, on a $67,000 salary, automating just 10% saves you close to $7,000 a year without lifting a finger after setup. Optional, offer your own free tracker or resource here. 2. Stop aiming for $10,000. A $10,000 goal feels overwhelming because it's abstract. Break it down instead. $10,000 per year equals about $833 per month equals about $27 per day. Then break the $27 per day into real choices. Cooking instead of eating out, $10, $15/day bringing coffee instead of buying it, $5/day cutting and used subscriptions, $30/month public transit instead of rideshare, $50/week hosting instead of going out, $100/week. But there's a catch. Present bias makes small daily savings feel insignificant compared to big future rewards. The fix is mental reframing. Don't think, I'm saving $27 today. Think, I'm building toward $10,000 this year. Keep the big number in view, not the small daily sacrifice. 3. Know your why. Before the how, you need a why. Saving without a personal reason behind it rarely lasts. It has to connect to something that actually matters to you. This is where your own story goes. What's the real reason you want financial security? A past hardship? A goal for your family? A memory of going without? Replace this bracket with your own authentic story. This is the part that connects with your audience, not a formula. Author Simon Sinek's Golden Circle framework applies well here. Most people focus on what to do or how to do it, but real motivation starts with why. Once your why is clear, the how becomes easier to stick to. For delay, don't deny. Most people think the dopamine hit from buying something happens after the purchase. But research on reward anticipation shows the actual spike happens before you buy, while you're imagining owning it, browsing the listing, adding it to your cart. The purchase itself is almost an afterthought. That's why a new item can feel exciting in the store and forgettable a week later. The dopamine had already peaked before you paid. Retailers know this better than you do. That's why limited time only banners exist, why countdown timers appear at checkout, why free shipping thresholds nudge you to add one more item, why a $40 item gets crossed out and marked down to $34.99 to manufacture the feeling of a win. None of this is about the product. It's about triggering anticipation on command. The fix isn't gritting your teeth and saying no forever, that rarely sticks. The fix is delay. I keep a running not now, maybe later list, and the rule is simple. Want something? Add it to the list instead of buying immediately. Don't talk yourself out of wanting it, just don't act yet. Set a wait period, 30 days for anything non-essential, 7 days for smaller impulse buys. When the timer's up, revisit the list. If you still want it and it fits your budget, buy it without guilt. What actually happens most of the time? By day 10 or 14, the urge has quietly faded, and you realize it wasn't really about the item, it was about the moment of wanting. You still get the dopamine of anticipating it. You just never pay for most of what you anticipate. 5. The future value of money. Here's a question. Would you rather have $100 today or $100 a year from now? Almost everyone picks today, and that instinct is correct, but it's worth understanding why, because once you do, it changes how you think about spending versus investing. Money today has options money tomorrow doesn't. You can spend it, save it, or invest it and let it grow. So $1 today is worth more than $1 later purely because of what it's capable of becoming in the meantime. That's the idea behind future value. If you can take money now and put it somewhere that earns a return, the question isn't, is $100 better than $105 later? It's, what could that $100 turn into if I invested it instead? If you can reasonably expect more than a 5% return, taking the $100 now and investing it beats waiting for the $105. Here's where it gets real. Say you're eyeing a $5,000 purchase. Instead of buying it, imagine putting that $5,000 into an index fund averaging a 10% annual return. In 10 years, that becomes roughly $13,000. Leave it alone for 20 years, and it's over $33,000. So the real question before any big purchase isn't, can I afford this? It's, is this worth more to me right now than $33,000 would be to me in 20 years? Sometimes the answer is still yes. But asking the question changes how often you say yes by default. 6. Save your ego, not just your income. Most people define savings as income minus expenses. That's technically true, but it misses the real lever. A more useful way to think about it, savings is income minus ego. Look around your space for a second. How many things did you buy because you genuinely needed them versus because you wanted to match or outdo someone, a coworker's car, a friend's vacation, a sibling's new phone? A huge share of spending above the basic cost of living isn't about utility, it's about signaling. It's a way of telling the people around you, consciously or not, I'm doing fine. I have money. The uncomfortable truth is that the fastest way to increase your savings rate usually isn't earning more, it's wanting less. And wanting less isn't really a budgeting skill, it's an emotional one. The less you care about what your spending communicates to other people, the less pressure you feel to spend in the first place. People who save well aren't always the highest earners, they're often just the ones who've stopped keeping score against everyone else. So if you've tried every budgeting app, every spreadsheet, every just spend less advice and it still hasn't stuck, it's probably not a willpower problem. It's a systems problem. Automate the saving before you ever see the money. Break the big scary number into something small enough to act on today. Know your why so the habit actually has roots. Let yourself want things without immediately buying them. Think in terms of what your money could become, not just what it costs right now. And get honest about how much of your spending is really about other people's opinions. None of these require you to earn more or live smaller, they just require you to set up the right structure once, so your future self doesn't have to fight the same battle every single month. If even one of these stuck with you, that's a great place to start. You don't have to do all 6 at once. Pick the one that felt most like you and build from there. And if you're already doing all of this and still feel like the money disappears too fast, the real issue might come down to what you do with your paycheck in the first 24 hours after it lands. That's exactly what I'm breaking down next, so subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. And if this helped, drop a comment with which strategy you're trying first. I read everyone.